Hi, welcome to Library Life. I'm Amanda Jackson with the Chesapeake Public Library, and with me today is Deputy Director Zach Elder. Hi, Zach.
Hello.
So we've got all the cool school supplies. I feel like we just started summer, but...
Hey, I'm not to be the one to tell you this, but it is going to be back to school very soon.
I know.
But the good news is Chesapeake Public Library has you prepared for back to school.
That's true. We have a lot of different things. First and foremost, our partnership with the schools is really important. We've been great partners. We've done a lot of really innovative things together, one of which is those school cards.
That's right. We love the Chesapeake Public Schools, and our school cards, they're only a card in name only. They're really basically every student's lunch number is their library card. So it's easy for kids to remember, and family members can remember. They can come together. They can check out up to 5 books. They can do any of the online resources that we need to, that they need to use, and I'll tell you all about those in just a second. But it makes it very easy, and it's a very smooth partnership.
So we started that partnership right before COVID, and then right as COVID was hitting, we were working with the schools and the teachers to talk about those online resources that you mentioned to help kids when they're in their classroom, they're working virtually, or just working on the computers, and the teachers wanted those resources that they couldn't access by a field trip to the library.
That's right. Pandemic or no pandemic, we have all of the online resources that that any age student can use to better themselves, to reinforce those ideas that they're learning in school, or to put their papers together or anything like that. So one of those is Tutor.com. That's my favorite. It has resources mainly for sort of middle grades and high school grades, but there are videos of different math concepts. For our high school students, there are even practice questions and practice tests for all of the college entrance exams or military entrance exams, completely free. And that's a really big difference than when I was going through school.
Well, and that's so huge because those tests are a big deal, and they really raise the anxiety levels of our students. And what you can do to help them, because my child did the same thing, that was that practice over and over again so you knew what to expect. Mm-hmm. That doesn't take away all the anxiety, but it definitely helps curb it. And it also helped us figure out which areas we needed additional assistance in. So which areas was she doing really well in, and we could kind of let those go, and where did she need a little bit of extra help in tutoring?
That's right. And we have a couple of course, aside from Tutor.com, we have an in-person resource that we're unveiling this fall at our Cuffy Outreach and Innovation Library. That's going to be a really great resource for parents and kids.
That is really exciting because we have been doing tutoring at Cuffy for the last 2 years. But this year, because of the demand, we're expanding into small group lessons. So we're going to be using the PACE guides, which I had never heard about until this year. But they're the guides that the schools use to teach the different concepts throughout the year. We'll be using those and tying those into small group lessons in reading and in math, so for our younger students.
That's really important. So whatever lesson we're tutoring about is going to match and reinforce the concept that they're learning in the classroom. So that's at that same time.
Give them a little bit of extra help. And we'll also be utilizing our older students to assist us as well. Our National Honor Societies are going to be able to help.
I'm super excited about this, and not just because I was in the National Honor Society back in the day, but I love that our older students can mentor and tutor some of our students right there in our library.
And it gives us an extra added benefit too, because not only do our little ones get to be partnered with the older, cooler students, because I know that you and I are cool. We're so cool, but maybe not as cool as the high school kids to a second grader.
That's right, and they're also ridiculously smart.
They are ridiculously smart. So they'll be able to help them, but it also gives the high school students those volunteer hours they need to look really good on a college application.
And that one-on-one attention that some students may need in our tutorings.
And we can also help our teachers.
Yes, we are helping our teachers. We are conducting an in-service with our teachers so that they can share all of the things that we know about our library, all of our online resources, all of our in-person resources, all of our spaces and facilities, everything that we have as a service to provide to help teachers in their classroom, to help them improve their students' lives.
Absolutely. We can also do, if you're as a teacher, you're not really sure how we can help, or you saw something, you heard something and it was really great, we do virtual visits into the classroom, so we can actually like Zoom or Google Meets or right into the classroom to demo some of our databases for the students. We can do on-site, in-person visits where we use our STEM equipment. We have a lot of really cool equipment to inspire our young learners.
That's right, and we can even do some field trips for folks if, as teachers and classes are doing that throughout the year.
Absolutely. So there are a lot of ways that the Chesapeake Public Library makes sure that our students succeed, because we really are that after-school arm of education for our families. We want to support them in whatever way we can.
We're here for the parents, we're here for the students, and we're here for the teachers.
So how would we get more information about any of the things you and I just talked about?
Well, I would go to our website, chesapeakelibrary.org.
And you can visit any of our locations in person, and our YFS, or Youth and Family Services librarians, be happy to help you find the perfect book for your kid.
They're the people who make the magic happen.
They do. That was a good one. Thank you so much, Zach, for joining me today and talking about all the great things that our schools will enjoy, even though we're not quite ready for summer to end.
Hey, we got a couple, take advantage of these few days before school starts.
And thank you for joining us today on Library Life. Have a great day.